Hello everyone, today I want to tell you how much money you can make in China and what are the rental expenses. And for this we are going to one of Shenzhen's beautiful parks. Let's go with me!
74啊，
对，加油！
系好安全带啊。
OK。We are in a taxi now. It's an electric car. In China, all the taxis are divided into 3 levels. The first one is budget cars, the second one premier cars, and the third one is luxury cars. Virtually all of the budget cars are electric ones. Our trip to the park, that is about 7 kilometers, will cost something like $4 now at the noon time, and about $7 to $8 when everyone is getting off work. Actually, taxis are affordable not only for foreigners but also for Chinese people. Personally, my family uses taxis a lot, and especially budget class is an affordable and environment-friendly means of transportation. Alright guys, so we have arrived to Donghu Park. The reason why I wanted to have this talk in the park, because I wanted to tell you how much money do people make in China, and at the same time to show you beautiful Chinese nature, beautiful Shenzhen's parks. That's the reason, that's part of the reason why do we like Shenzhen so much and why we have been staying here for about 8 years. Can you see that tall glass and concrete building? Guess what's that? That's a court. Alright guys, so let's go back to our conversation. Let's begin first with Chinese people, right? Chinese people make Chinese salaries vary greatly in China, unlike in many European countries or North American countries. The difference from the minimum wage and the difference between the minimum wage and the top wages, like CEO of Alibaba, those big companies, can be hundreds of times. But anyway, let's put it this way. The minimum wage of Shenzhen is something like a bit more than 2,000 RMB. That's around 300 American dollars. What can people afford for that? Well, not much, but definitely they can buy, wow, I've been here for hundreds of times, but it's still very beautiful. So what do people can afford for a minimum wage? Let's say our nanny was renting an apartment for 1,000 RMB. It's like something 150 American dollars. And if she earned 2,000 something RMB, she would be able to rent an apartment and buy groceries. However, in Shenzhen, practically no one earns and lives for a minimum wage. It's at least like double than that. So according to the latest report, the average salary in China after the taxes is about $950. So in Shenzhen it would be about like, because Shenzhen is one of the top Chinese 4 cities, Shenzhen, Shanghai and Beijing, it's something like, wow, palm trees, fantastic. it's something like at least $1,000, right? It's a average wage. I know many people who earn like at least double than that. How can Chinese people increase their salary, to have a promotion of their careers, right? Learning of English, right? Knowledge of English or any other foreign language like Japanese, can be German, whatever. And those guys earn, like whom I know, they work in a foreign trade and they earn like at least $15,000. I met a guy who was making about like over 50,000 RMB per month, and also he was working in a foreign trade. If you want to make lots of money, you gotta work in a foreign trade here as a Chinese person. Let's go back to foreigners. Again, salaries vary, but not so much as with Chinese people. Anyway, salaries for foreigners begin something with, normally it's about 2,000 American dollars. I met positions where foreigners were offered like 1,000 something, but well, practically no one whom I know, no one who's been living in China for a while would ever go for such a position. My first salary when I arrived here 8 years ago was about 1,300 American dollars. All right, and that's the about minimum wage for foreigners. The middle wage, the average wage for foreigners here is about like 3,000. That's more realistic, 3,000 up to 3,500. And the top wages are about something like about 6,000 American dollars. That would be a top wage, like 45,000 RMB. It's for top positions, for people with PhD degrees, etc., etc. How foreigners can get a job here? Actually, what foreigners do here? Foreigners work here like as some kind of specialists, mainly as, let's say, like there are 5 top positions or like 4 top positions. What foreigners do here? Foreigners work here as teachers, kindergarten teachers, school teachers, university teachers, English teachers, subject teachers. Foreigners work here in trade and make pretty decent money, however, provided they have enough of experience for that. Foreigners work here as sports coaches. They work here as performers, as athletes, in circuses, in different entertainment parks. Let's say how much foreigners can do in China according to their occupation. Well, let's begin with teachers, right? English teachers can make in China something like between 2,000 and 5,000 American dollars based on experience, based on the city, and actually what subject are they teaching, right? Performers can be dancers, acrobats, gymnasts, you name it, earn here something like between 2,000. It's very basic, and usually if there is such a salary, an apartment is provided. $2,000 and up to, I guess, like $3,000, like that. And guys in a foreign trade can make here decent money, depending also on their experience, on their level of expertise, and if it is something just like to check up the quality, it can be $1,500 up to $2,000. If person has a lot of experience, or if person is capable, if person has like communication skills, it can be up to $4,000 and even more. Now guys, let's talk about the rental costs. It also varies greatly. It varies from city to city, and it depends on the type of an apartment that you live in. Let's talk about Shenzhen, because I've been living here, as I told already, for about almost 8 years. I'm the most familiar with this city. However, like, it's not the most expensive city in China. The most expensive city in China is Shanghai. Even Beijing is cheaper. And among those 4 great cities, Guangzhou is the cheapest. So anyway, the cost of living in Shenzhen, guys, it's all depend on the area where you rent, right? This is like very crucial, because for the same amount of money you can rent a great 3-bedroom apartment somewhere far away from the city center, and it can be even like 20 minutes by bus to metro, and you can rent a 1-bedroom apartment closer to downtown and closer to metro. For example, we are renting a 1-bedroom apartment like 7 minutes, within a 7-minute walk to metro, and we are paying for that. It's 1 bedroom, 1 living room, right? Under 50 square meters, like I believe 40, maybe 42, and we pay for that 3,200 RMB monthly. That is something like 430, under $450. It's without utilities. If to add utilities, it would be also like another like 300 RMB, $50. And for the same money, for the very same money, you can rent a 3-bedroom apartment in a newly built house in another district, quite far away from the downtown, and like to get within a 20-minute bus ride to metro, right? So like you need to rent an apartment here, depending on the place where someone is sitting there beautifully. Let's go check it out. You need to rent an apartment with a proximity to your working place, right? There are, of course, Shenzhen is a very fast building city, and the person is enjoying. All right, so let's like talk more scientifically. The lowest level, right? The lowest level is something like let's say 1,000 RMB. This is the apartment that was rented our nanny. It would be a pretty decent apartment with 2 bedrooms, right? With all the bathroom, with all the kitchen, with all this stuff, and just for $150 plus utilities. However, this apartment would be in a quite old building, in a very old building for Shenzhen. Very old, it's like 30 plus years old, and a very big like drawback as for me, those buildings would be situated very close one to another one, within like 2 meters or even less sometimes, and it's useless to hope to get there some like there is no direct sunlight. So there is light, but it's not enough of light, and for example, your living room might be totally windowless. You'll have to use your daylight. Even during the daytime, you'll have to turn on the light. For $300 you can rent a better apartment, still quite old but a better, with access to the sunlight, right? And as I told you already, like for $450 you can rent a really great apartment, 3-bedroom, newly built. It might be with a furniture or without a furniture, depending on the landlord, but far away from the downtown and far away from metro. But anyway, if your working place, if your job is close to the house, it would be convenient for you, right? And let's talk about the apartments of a higher class, right? About more expensive apartments. If you want, or if your salary affords you, if your salary allows you, right? Let's put it this way. You can get yourself an apartment somewhere closer to the seaside. Shenzhen is a coastal city, right? And for the price of like $800-900, it would be a nice 2-bedroom apartment. Might be quite new, but anyway, it would be standing in a great area, right? And guys, just for your information, in Shanghai, the normal price for an apartment rental begins like from 4,000. If in Shenzhen 4,000 you can find a good apartment, in Shanghai it's practically what I'm renting for 3,200, right? And it's very common for Shanghai to rent out apartments for like 7,000 RMBs. That's about $1,000. But at the same time, the wages there are higher, still higher than in Shenzhen. So like sometimes those expenses for apartment rentals can be covered. But at the same time, according to those people who have been living there, groceries are there. The price for groceries there is a bit higher. 你好。
哦，对。
I know it's realistically like live quite not bad for 3,000 RMB in China just for groceries, right? However, like it depends also on your preferences, on your habits. My family spends something like 1,500 to 200 American dollars for groceries. And in addition to that, we have a 5-year-old son, so he needs a nanny, he needs a school, he needs toys, he needs books, he needs all this stuff. So like my family has a bit higher expenses. So guys, it seems like you don't earn that much as you could somewhere in the West, in Western Europe, in the North America, in Australia, right? However, you save actually not less, if not more, due to the low cost of living here. I want to show you how beautiful it is here. So all these guys, all these benefits multiplied by the quite welcoming attitude of Chinese people towards foreigners, crazy development infrastructure, metro buses, whatever, really lures foreigners from Western countries, and not only from Western countries, to China, and they live here for decades. I know many people, in addition to myself, who have been living here for like 10 years and more, and they still like it, and they don't want to leave it. Their children study here in local schools. They marry here Chinese people, Chinese women, Chinese men. Their children are at least bilingual, if not trilingual, and they live happy lives. Hello. I'm not sure whether it's the best park of Shenzhen, and I doubt it. But guys, look, definitely the government takes good care of this place, and actually of all the China's parks. Everywhere there are flowers. It's all neat, it's clean. And come with me. I want to show you one more place that is present at every park of China, and actually in many public places of China. Let's go. The place that I wanted to show you is a public bathroom. It's not the newest bathroom, right? It's not one that is freshly built, but it has everything necessary. There is running water. You can fresh yourself up. There is a worker who cleans the bathroom by day. They are saying that there is a foreigner who is shooting videos. They're saying right now that they hear foreigner. 你好.
你好.
So guys, this is how public bathroom in China looks.
果果，你能听懂吗？你给妈翻译翻译。
就是你好啊。
他就说你好啊。
我要派你们的公共的卫生间，对，让所有的世界知道中国有免费的公共的卫生间。
哎，好嘞，果果你先撂吧。里边有纸，设施非常齐全。这嘎有洗手液，有烘干手的。
啊，非常好，辛苦了。
不辛苦，这都是应该做的。
哎，
为了深圳的一个卫生。
为了中国人，也为了外国人，是不是？
对，为人民服务。
谢谢，为了人类。
对。
哎，谢谢你，辛苦了，祝你好运。
哎，祝你好运。
拜拜。
Bye.
Guys, if you consider my video useful for you, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. In this way, you will motivate me for creating more of China-related content. I want to show you life in real China.